So you managed to recruit a commission-based sales rep. This is the process that you should take them in. This is the onboarding process that you should use so that you're able to retain those reps. Now, it's really important to note right now, it is an employee market. The control is not on the employer side, it's on the employee. It's really hard to find quality employees in 2024. And so if you want to retain them, you should, as soon as possible, send them an offer letter. You could make it that it sends the offer letter on autopilot. You shouldn't be writing a unique offer letter for each rep. It should be a standard, process that you just click a button, they receive an email. It could be a DocuSign or whatever, but you need to make them sign the offer so they're a little bit more solid. Now, right away, you need to send them the sales scripts and the training materials that they're going to need, or anything that you're going to provide for them when it comes to virtual or pamphlets or whatever type of training that you're going to provide, because we want them to stop going to other interviews. They might be still considering other positions even though they signed the contract. So it's really important to start training them and start brainwashing them into your organization so that they can start producing as soon as possible so that they don't leave. And so having that on autopilot is really important, and doing that as soon as they're hired, as soon as they finish the second interview or final interview, is really, really important. Now, starting the training, you should start it right away, if not the next day. You should start online training as soon as possible. Be assumed. You don't have to do the classroom environment. That leads to a lot of turnover. That leads to a lot of people quitting, because if they're commission based, they're driving over to your office and they feel like they're wasting time because they're not able to produce. Now, it's really important to train them. You have to train them. So make it as comfortable as possible for them. Have a course, have a Zoom meeting, something like that, and start as soon as possible. You need to get them on the floor as soon as possible if you don't want them to quit. These people won't make money until they close a deal. You need to make that process as quick and as easy and as fast as possible. Now, I recommend that if you're doing the classroom in-person training, maybe you want to teach them how to do an inspection or something like that, only do it once. They won't be able to get all of the knowledge that they need. Even if you give them a month of training, they won't be able to get it. They need practice. Practice makes perfect. Now, some really important notes. Again, they're commission-based. You can't expect them to spend months, going to your office and shadowing someone else for training or something like that. Most of the training should be done virtually. The more convenient the training, the more reps will actually complete the training. And the training should start as fast as possible. Don't wait until the next Monday. Keep their enthusiasm going by getting them trained as fast as possible. And if you're going to do one ride along where they go with you or they shadow somebody else, just do one. For the love of God, get them on the floor as soon as possible. This is better for your company and this is better for them. They're closer to producing a sale, and you're closer to them producing a sale for your company. And so the training process shouldn't take longer than a week. It's for the most part is commission based, so they're not going to get the hang of it until they have enough reps into the process. So it doesn't matter really how much training you give them. Just perfect the script, perfect the estimate. That's the best that you can do, and get them on the floor. Now, while they are actively working, you should get them working by their second week or sooner if you can. And so by then they should already have uniforms and all of the tools that they are going to need. They should also have the smallest commute possible, because these are commission-based sales rep. For example, If you are a roofing company, let's say in Houston, and you want them to go to downtown every day to try to close deals in downtown, and they live in the outskirts in the suburbs, they're gonna quit. You should hire somebody. If you want them to go to somewhere that's a far commute for them, that's not the best rep. So don't waste your time. Hire somebody from the area that you want them to actually close. So if you want them to close the suburbs, hire somebody from the suburbs. If you want them to close in downtown, hire somebody from downtown. If you make the effort higher than what it already is, it's already difficult to produce sales and live on a commission base. If you make it even harder, they're going to quit. You're going to waste your time and waste your money. And so you should be checking in with them at least 3 times per day on their first day. If you're leaving them out on their own, their first day on the field by themselves, you should call them at least 3 times that day, just so that they feel the support. Now, for the second day, you can call them twice, and then for the third day, you only call them in the morning or whatever it is. But for the very first day that they're out on the field on their own, you should call them at least 3 times so that they feel that they're not alone, that they can do it, that you're there for answering their questions or whatever it is. And some other important notes is that you need to make this as frictionless as possible for them to start closing deals. If you can give them appointments, even though they're new, if you can give them appointments for the first week, it's even better. Okay, you're not going to book their whole day, but if you can give them some appointments, it's better. Also, another thing, some people try to get the rep to stay longer and endure an onboarding process that is not optimized. They want them to train for 2 weeks, could have really big commutes, so on and so on and so on. And they try to compensate that by giving them bonuses. They didn't join the company looking for bonuses. They want the commissions. They want the big deals. They want to close people. They want to produce sales and get an actual income. They don't care about $100, $200, $500 bonus. You need to help them close deals if you want to retain them. Now that we're at the end, the most important part is that no amount of training will give them the level of skill that practice will. Practice makes perfect. Throw them out into the field. Let them figure it out on their own. Let them, kill it out there. Don't overwhelm them with training. And the last thing is, if they bomb their first few homes, they can come back in 2 weeks and try again in that same home. Nobody will remember. So what I mean by that, if they come to my house and they just mess up, they can come again in 2 weeks and nobody will, I won't remember their faces or whatever it was that they were saying. So you should tell them that so that they're not as nervous and they don't feel like they're losing a chance, because they can always come back to that same neighborhood or that same home and try it one more time. And so if you use this same process, you'll have less headaches. Basically, you'll be able to retain more reps. Don't make the mistakes of making training too long, make them have a really big commute, and basically just put a lot of friction between them and closing their first deal. Make it as easy as possible. You'll be able to retain more reps. You'll be able to have more success with your recruitment efforts. Thanks for watching.